From here and everywhere, this is CNN.
The foreseeable future, or if you thought that any attempts at real liberalization would be thwarted by the ruling clerics. Many of you pointed to the obvious. Reform, you asked, look at the rigged election. How could reform happen in such an atmosphere? And of course, many of you pointed to what has happened since the election as a sign that reform is possible, perhaps even soon. Which leads me to now, after this extraordinary week of demonstrations, crackdowns, violence, what do you think people from outside Iran can do to help those in Iran who want change? What would be the best and most interesting suggestions for people from the outside world? Let me know what you think. As always, I'd like to recommend a book, actually two books, the two best books on Iran that I have read in a while. Both are by people who appeared on the program today. First, The Ayatollah Begs to Differ by Human Majd. It's a terrific book that looks inside Persian life, a portrait of a proud and often paradoxical country. Very, very well written. Second, The Soul of Iran by Afshin Molavi. It's about what this writer learned on his extensive travels through the country where he was born. Very intelligent, acute observations throughout. I think you'll really enjoy both. Also, don't forget to check out our website, cnn.com/GPS, and watch interviews that you might have missed in the past. And you can always email me at gps@cnn.com. Thanks to all of you for being part of my program this week, and I will see you next week.
Riot police and militia line the streets of Tehran to keep calm in the city, but it's still not enough to keep protesters from marching. Days of unrest are beginning to show cracks in Iran's political structure. One official says the chances of vote fraud are almost non-existent. Another expresses doubt. And the government tells some journalists get out or get thrown in jail. The perils of reporting in the middle of a conflict. It is 10:30 p.m. in Tehran. I'm Jonathan Mann. Welcome to World News. Thanks for joining us. A government bent on silencing the opposition, protesters willing to risk their lives for their beliefs, both clashing in the streets, unwilling to give up the fight for their country. At least 2 demonstrations were held in Tehran today, although the city was reported to be calm in most places. Thousands of riot police and militia members lined many streets. Tehran's police chief says police haven't been given permission to use firearms, while hospital sources say the death toll has risen to 19. And Iran's president says statements by the U.S. and Britain prove that neither country is a friend of Iran. The protests are out in the open for all to see, but the bigger clashes may be behind the scenes, and that could decide what happens in the end. Chief International Correspondent Christian Amanpour looks now at the quarrel.